Hey everyone, this time on Tim Talks Audio, we get to open up something brand new from Arturia. We've worked with our friends over at Arturia before, going over their FX collection, which is all of the plugins that they have available, and they have all different kinds of processors in there. Compressors, EQs, synthesizers, time-based effects. They also have a very good hardware division, and they've sent this over so that we can take a look at what's inside the box and go over some of its features. I actually have no idea what's in here, so this will be a lot of fun. Let's get into it. Okay, so we'll get to all of the accessories in a bit, but this is the brand new Arturia MiniFuse 2. This is actually the bigger brother of a new set of interfaces that Arturia is releasing, the MiniFuse One, and this one, the MiniFuse 2. I think it goes without saying that the MiniFuse 1 has one input, where we can see right here that the MiniFuse 2 has two inputs. But, you know, it looks really cool in the box. Let's see what's inside. So as I'm pulling this out of the box, I think it's important to say that this is a USB-C interface. So this works for both Mac and Windows PC users. And it's a nice little box. This is actually really solid. It's a nice metal enclosure, but let's get it out of the bag and take a look. So I'm gonna go over here to this camera. So you can see, it's the MiniFuse 2 for its two different inputs. These are combo jack inputs, so you can have your XLRs or your 1/4 inch right here on front, and your input gain knobs as well. The controls themselves actually have a little bit of a rubber feel, but the turn is actually really nice. There's a little bit of resistance. It's not stepped for the gain controls, or actually any of the controls, but there's a little bit of resistance. It's not just like free floating and it going too quick. It's actually a really nice little control here. Obviously, these two controls adjust our input gains for channels 1 and 2. And then underneath the input gain controls is also your high Z button if you're plugging your instrument direct into this interface. Then, of course, you have your phantom power button, which will turn on phantom power for both channels. Then you have your big monitor knob here, where you can adjust the output volume going to your speakers. And we'll take a look at the back on how to hook those up in a second. You also have control, where you can choose if you want to do some direct monitoring through the interface. This way there is zero latency, or you get more playback from the USB input, or anywhere in between. Maybe you want to create your own blend. You need to hear your backing tracks, but you also want to reduce that latency. Maybe a 50-50 split will work for that. Then underneath that, you have the direct mono button, and this takes both of your inputs and just sums them to mono. Maybe you have a stereo keyboard in, but you need to sum everything for mono. This button right here would do that for you. And last but not least on the front is a headphone output volume control. Flipping around to the back, it has the Kensington lock system on it. So this is a very portable unit. If you need to actually secure it while you're out on the road, you can use a Kensington lock, and the connection is here. Then you have your main left-right outputs with 1/4 inch jacks. You have MIDI in and out built right in, your standard 5-pin MIDI. Then you have two USB connections, because this also works as a miniature hub. You hook up your computer with the USB-C slot here, and then you can plug any synthesizer or any kind of USB hardware into this slot as well. So maybe you have one of the Arturia MIDI controllers that's over USB. You can tap that right into the interface here, and it travels down the same path as the USB-C for the audio interface as well, straight to your computer. And the cool thing about this is it's entirely bus powered. You don't need a separate power supply to power this. You can hook it right up to your laptop. And this would be really good for those who are out there doing shows and they need to be able to maybe put something direct in for their instruments and then have the outputs fed to front of house. This is all you would need hooked up to your computer with no extra power, just making sure that your laptop has sufficient power for your show or you have the charger with you. Up next in the box has the included cable, which is your USB-A to USB-C connector. That looks like this. Here's your USB-C, and here's your standard USB-A. That's just the rectangle guy. We've all seen that a million times before. And that's it. This really is a little plug and play interface. That was the whole idea with the MiniFuse 2, is very easy, very fast plug and play connections. Inside the box was also a nice little welcome card and some goodies that were included in this pack from our friends at Arturia. Of course, a bunch of decals and stickers, and a lovely little AudioFuse Studio keychain. This is very cool. So we've seen the MiniFuse 2 in my hand here, and this is the black version. They're also going to be making a white version in both the MiniFuse 2 and the MiniFuse 1. The MiniFuse 1, really the only difference is there's one input on the front, so it's a smaller body. But this is great for throwing in your bag. It's very rugged and it's extremely portable, and that's the entire idea with this interface. So this interface isn't out yet, but will be available mid-October in the black version. And if you're looking for the white one for a nice clean aesthetic, you can look for the MiniFuse 1 and MiniFuse 2 white in November. Then probably the last question you have about this right now, other than how it sounds, which we'll get to that in another video at another time. But the really important thing, what's the price? The MiniFuse 1 will be coming in at $99, with the MiniFuse 2 coming in at $149. Considering who has made this interface and the technology that they have available to them and the sounds that they've gotten with their plugins, I would say that's a pretty good deal for a nice, handy little portable interface. You know, up to $150 for 2 inputs while you're on the road, outputs, MIDI in and out, and then extra USB input. That's really good for $150. Now, like I said, we haven't gotten into any sound tests. That's going to be a separate video, so make sure you're subscribed and you have the notification bell rung so that you know exactly when that and future videos come out as well. That's all for now. If you found anything informative, please like and share the video. For more, visit timflansbaum.com, and if you have a question, ask it in the comments and I'll answer it in a future video. Thanks for watching.